What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to the channel. And of course, this is a crunch game, the final game of our Champions League group stages. And this game is massive. It weighs such a massive amount upon our shoulders and AC Milan's shoulders going into this game. We've got to win this game. AC Milan's got to win this game. And we go through into the next round of the Champions League. Of course, PSG and Borussia Dortmund are playing their game as well. And if Borussia Dortmund beat PSG, then that means we can go through if we win this game to the next round. The same goes if AC Milan were to win this game. If we, however, draw this game, then it would come down to the UEFA rules on a points tie. And of course, if PSG were to win their game against Borussia Dortmund, then that would mean we could only then get into the Europa League. Same goes for AC Milan if they were to pick up the result in the game. Looking at it, like I said, this is a massive game for both sides. We've already played them at the San Siro, of course, on match day 1 of the Champions League, and we got a draw there at the San Siro. This is a game as well that a lot of us Newcastle United fans will be wanting to get a win in, especially, of course, after what has gone on with the whole Sandro Tonali situation. We do believe, as Newcastle United fans, that AC Milan knew about that, so this would be a massive chance to get a little bit of a revenge against AC Milan, knock them out of the Champions League, knock them out of Europe altogether, and of course us see ourselves progress through into either the Champions League's next stage or the Europa League. Either way, good, both are good in my book. At the end of the day, but the Champions League would be the priority. Looking at, of course, the way AC Milan's been playing since we've took them on in the Champions League. Of course, their most recent game, they were, of course, down to Atalanta. They came back to 2-2. Then Atalanta scored, of course, in the stoppage time of the game to win 3-2 against them. So they're not doing too well at the moment. We're not doing too well neither, of course, with the two back-to-back losses away from St James's Park. But, however, at St James's Park, we still have a very good record. So I do think that going into this game, we'll see a much better performance by the lads than what we've seen in the games against Everton and Tottenham. It's not that the games against Everton and Tottenham were bad in performance-wise. The lads did put in a good effort, but there was a lot of tiredness on show there. Hopefully, now that we have got a couple of bodies back in the way of Wilson and Longstaff, we will see a little bit more energy in there in the team playing in the game, of course, tomorrow in that 8 o'clock kickoff against AC Milan. The player to watch going into the game is Anthony Gordon. He's already bagged quite a few goals for Newcastle this season. He's already bagged himself quite a few assists this season as well. He's firing on all cylinders, and hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that in this game against AC Milan. On the AC Milan side of things, the player to watch is, of course, none other than Olivier Giroud, of course, who will be hoping to add to his favourable personal record of 1 defeat and 5 personal head-to-heads with Newcastle. 13 wins, 1 draw. He scored 9 goals against us in his personal record and gotten 2 assists. And no side in the UCL group stage has scored fewer goals combined than AC Milan, who have 3. So this is a chance for us to make a fruit of that next round of the Champions League. If not, then we could have a chance of going in the Europa League. or it could be out of Europe altogether. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Going into this game, which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to go through into the next round of the Champions League, which of course would mean that Borussia Dortmund would have to beat a PSG, or of course we're going into the Europa League and seeing ourselves possibly going on to win the Europa League. Judging on the teams that are in there, I do believe, and by the time that we would have to play them games, I do believe we would have enough ability, enough players there to be able to push on and possibly win that competition down in the Europa League. But if not, then it would be out of Europe altogether. So let us know your thoughts, what you think down in the comments below. This is a massive game for Newcastle, massive game for AC Milan as well. So both us and AC Milan are going to be going at this, and hopefully the lads can pick up the win on the night and see us get either into the next round of the Champions League or going to the Europa League, because that would be absolutely amazing. It would mean so much for our FFP moving forward as well, because it means that we're generating more revenue off of Europe the longer we stay in it, which can only be a good thing moving forward for the FFP, which allows then for us to put even more money onto the field, allowing for better players to come into the team to complement the players that we've already got there. Some of them would obviously move on. The likes of the older lads would be moving on from the club. The likes of, Matt Ritchie, what have you, would probably be moving on from the club with the signing of a few of them bigger named players coming in. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, hit like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags. Of course, it's going to be a quick turnaround again after this game when we take on Fulham, which is also at St James's Park as well for that game against Fulham, which again, is going to be another one of them games where, I would expect Newcastle to pick up a win in. But we've got to get past this AC Milan game first. Let's see what we can do in this. This is a massive game for us. A massive game for AC Milan as well. So let's give it all. Let's get behind the lads. Let's get them flags waving. Let's get war flags doing their stuff. And let's make AC Milan feel absolutely uncomfortable under the lights at St James's Park tomorrow night. However, lads.